Movie notes on Ad Astra, 2019 film, 17 October 2024 viewing. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Norway, filming in the Seattle area, greater Seattle area. And so I just finished viewing this, Ad Astra, which I kind of like. Okay, in viewing it again, I was kind of like, is this supposed to mean like advertisement or marketing for like the Astro community? Because they kind of like they have like, you know, the font that's displayed at the beginning of the movie, and I was like, it kind of comes across that way. Anyway, so my description for this viewing is it's a fiction film about a male astronaut being accompanied by an elder male astronaut on a journey beyond Earth in the solar system after Earth experiences a bout of electrical surges that are off-planet in origins, and a government agency asks for his assistance. So there's the sequence, he's working on this, what do they call it, a space antenna. So something connects to the Earth that goes up above orbit, in orbit level kind of thing. And then there's all of a sudden these electrical surges and stuff goes wrong. He's off this thing, and then the government asks for his help, and he gets paired up with like an elder astronaut, and he's an astronaut. And then because his dad was a big deal astronaut who got left in the rings of Neptune, which is an ice giant out there with Uranus towards the outer edge of the solar system. And so he goes planet hopping, per government, from planet and moon satellite hopping, so from terrestrial planet Earth to the corresponding terrestrial satellite moon to terrestrial planet Mars to rings of ice giant Neptune. Okay, because there's terrestrial planets, gas giants, and ice giants. When things are far enough away from the sun, they get really, really cold, so there's no longer liquid water. Right. They're like different substances, which is H2O, so different substances have different freezing points. So depending on what material is there, it may move like a liquid, it may move like ice, it may be somewhere in between. And depending on how deep it is in a planetary interior, it might move and act a little differently. Okay. Anyway, point being, so it's about that journey, and there's been kind of colonization and exploration. So yeah. Throughout his journey, and they discover, well, you know, what happened to these astronauts, what happened to this science, and if people are like during this movie, the thing I would recommend looking for is they put out this kind of like, you know, scientific proposal for where do the electrical surges originate from off of planet Earth. And if you pay attention all the way through to the end, in the rings of Neptune, does the proposal for where the electrical, this is, okay, as scientist me to you, does the proposal of where the electrical surges come from get disproven by what he finds in the rings of Neptune? So, if you are, and I'm not going to spoil that for you, all right, but if you want to take the scientific lens, or scientist lens, right, it's they propose this where the electrical surges originate from off planet, and then in the rings of Neptune, is any electrical surges that are experienced there, is it consistent with what the government said the electrical surges originated from? It's a, why am I bringing this up? It's a yes/no answer. Okay, so yeah. Some of the scientists who I know who've worked in planetary science and, you know, like the stuff that goes past Earth, they might be like looking at the pictures and be like, oh my gosh, look at those pictures. They're the distracted ones. Those of us who are paying attention to the movie, go ahead. Yeah, it's a yes, no at the end. Okay. So if you want to think like a scientist, that's the thing to pay attention to. In the spirit of Plan B, so at the beginning of the movie, they have like this like sign comes on the screen and it goes Plan B. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my merge thing. Not that that's a Plan B, but I'm working on my Plan B currently for like when it's not a sweet and or savory eats like only video. So I'm doing a cup of simply orange juice with calcium. It's got it's fortified with calcium and vitamin D, and this one is pulp free. So I got my handy little, I am not the type of lady that does or has to have OJ in the morning. No. I like orange juice in my evenings. I've always thought that OJ, orange juice in the morning, is a rather peculiar habit. Unless I'm visiting my Grandma Connie. And then it's perfectly normal. Okay, my grandparents. But I'm a millennial, so I guess I like it in the evening. Okay, anyway, in the spirit of Plan B, at the beginning of the movie, different ways for returning library items when Josh comes for me. Can I come up with like 2 different options? That way, whichever one does not play out or plays out later after I forget to do one, I can call it Plan B. Okay, so I came up with 2 options. Just keep them, the library items, return once done, like once read or viewed or whatever, as normal. Pay any overdue fees as applicable, same as normal. So that's one option. And the other option is I came up with 2 different options. Take a picture of the items I have checked out, then take a picture turning them in, then put them on hold again for pickup at a library closer to our house. The orange juice is good. Shake it up, it gets nice and thick. Okay, so that's one thing I think of. Also, this movie, this is not the first time I've seen it. I like watched it and I was like, if this is typical male drama, I do not want to have male children. No. Like the dynamic of like father-son stuff. I was just like, if every fetus gets a say in what gender they are, I said no to being man, right? Okay. So like, no. Okay, no, not dodo, just no. We that's not a dodo thought process, right? Men and women are needed to reproduce. Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking of Nightingale. And I was thinking of Nightingale, baby girl 1 with my Cristiano. Okay, Nightingale, her name, by me. Her mama, Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Norway. So Nightingale making nut cookies for Timber. Christian and I come home to find she has already eaten them all when coming back from a date night one night. Yeah, so I'm just like, we're gonna be like, it's gonna be Nightingale with Timber the gray squirrel, and they're gonna be at home, and we're gonna be like, Timber, we put you in charge, you're her babysitter. Because Timber's got a number of years on Nightingale already. Okay. So Timber's in charge, and so Nightingale decides to make like nut cookies. So like cookies that are made of nuts, so that Timber can eat them. And we come back to the house. My Cristiano and I, the parents, the proud parents, both born Leonhardi, but different Leonhardis. Okay, and so we open the door, and there's this couch that Cristiano and I normally sit on. And where I normally sit is the far side, and where he normally sits is the near side. And we see that half of the couch has been torn up. It looks like it's just been the part of the couch where Cristiano normally sits. And I turn to look to him, and he's like, and we're like, Ska, baby, Pumice, Timber. And we look over to the kitchen, and there's the squirrel, Timber the gray squirrel, sitting on the countertop with Nightingale on the far side of the countertop. And there's just a tray where they've made these nut cookies, and Timber's eating one. And we're like, we're back. And we go over to check, and Timber is eating the last cookie. And so they ate all the cookies before we could try them. And so that's how our date night ends. Our little girls have been busy, one baking and the other eating all the cookies. And so we've decided that Nightingale's soulmate, can learn to cook squirrel treats with her in the parents and Timber's presence before they move her in with them. Right, so if it's more than one, they. Right, so essentially that couch that's been halfway annihilated Cristiano, and I can sit on it. He can sit on his part that's been torn apart by the squirrel, the hungry squirrel. And we can sit on the couch and watch Nightingale's soulmate and her soulmates learn to make squirrel cookies with her. And Timber's there, and she sits on the counter and is like, "Where are my cookies? Do I gotta taste test the batter?" So I thought, I was like, see, those are see, I get depressed by the father-son stuff, and not all relationships are like the one portrayed in this movie, but it was like, what's an uplifting thing that Nightingale is already scheming about and trying to get out of the womb about? I'm not pregnant. I know. But she's like, my presence is already here, and I already have my name. So there we go. So my movie notes on I need to finish my orange juice. I got so into it that I forgot about the orange juice. I was a 30 out of 10 today. That was very good. So those are my movie notes on Astra, 2019 film, 17 October 2004 viewing.